Hello guys, welcome back to Patrones Mujer. I'll be sharing with you a tutorial how to make this overall, and you can find this pattern on the magazine Patrones Infantiles number 70. Having said that, let's get started. We'll take pen and paper to write down the materials. Once we have the pattern tracing from the magazine, we cut along the side line that we make. These are finished patterns, which means they have 1 cm seam, hems, and cut with notches and grand lines. Let's check the pieces. These are the pieces from the front and back. This is the piece of the front. We overlock the sides and the bottom. This is the piece from the back. These are the pieces from the waistband and we fuse them. These are the pieces from the front and back and we fuse it, and these are the little pieces of the back. And we fuse the other pieces and the elastic. We're going to start with the back pieces. We're going to face the rights. And then we're going to close the center back until the curve. Then we're going to take the other pieces of the sides. We're going to face the rights and we're going to sew them. Face the rights of the backs and sew them from the waist until the curve. Then we open the back and we're going to place the pieces of the sides. Now we snip until the notch on the sides, we open and we pass a stitch on the piece of the side. Now we're going to take the pieces of the front, we face the rights and we're going to close until the curve. Then we're going to make a mark with the help of the pattern, because we need to know where is the piece of the back. After that, we're going to place the piece of the back and then the elastic. We're going to take the pieces of the side. We're going to close for one side. Then we're going to turn the piece. And after that, we're going to place on top of the back piece. Face the rights and sew them from the waist until the curve. We place the piece on the mark and we have to pass a stitch on the bottom and the top. Introduce the elastic through the piece, and now we have to pass a stitch for one side for hold the elastic, and then we pull the elastic and we pass a stitch on the other side. Close in half the pieces, pass a stitch for one side, pull the corners, then press with the iron, and then we have to overlock the sides and the other side of the piece. Now we have to place the piece on the side, but you have to leave 1 centimeter, and you place the piece from this 1 centimeter. We continue with the pieces of the front, the little pieces for hold the straps. So we fold in half and then we're going to sew on the sides. These are the pieces from the strap. We're going to sew for one side and along of the piece. We take the other pieces of the front, face the right, and we're going to sew on the sides and on top of the piece. On the machine, these are the pieces from the straps. We fold in half, we face the right, and we pass a stitch on the side. Cut along of the piece, and now with the help of the needle we have to turn the piece. Then we have to press with the air. Pass a stitch for close the piece. Pass a stitch for the sides and along of the piece. Then we have to turn the piece. Cut the excess of the fabric along of the piece and the side of the piece and cut the corners. Then turn the piece and press with the air. Pass a stitch around on the piece. These are the pieces from the front. We face the right and we sew them all around, but except the base of the piece. Cut the excess of the fabric, turn the piece, and with the help of the scissors pull the corners, and then we have to press with the air. Snip the curves. And pass a stitch around of the piece. We have to place the pieces, so we place on the edge, we fold the piece, and we're going to pass a stitch for hold the pieces. We continue with the waistband of the front. We're going to place on top the waistband, we face the right, and then we place on the other side the other piece of the waistband. We have to face the right. Pass a stitch for all the pieces. And now we sew the waistband. So we take one piece of the waistband, we face the right, and then we place on top the piece of the top. Then we place on top the other piece of the waistband. Now we sew on the sides, we turn and we sew along of the waist. Cut along of the piece, cut the corners and the sides. Then turn the piece and press with the iron. We're going to place the top piece. So we're going to face the right of the waistband with the back of the piece, and we're going to sew along of the waist. Then we're going to fold the centimeter inside and we're going to pass a stitch on it. We take the piece of the back, we're going to place the straps on the top, and then we're going to place on top the facing piece. This is the waistband of the front. We face the right of the waistband with the back of the front piece and we sew them along of the waist. Place the centimeter inside of the waistband and pass a stitch all around on the waistband. These are the pieces from the back. We start from the side, we face the right and we sew them on the sides and around of the piece. Cut the corners and snip the curves, and then we have to turn the piece and press with the iron. pass a stitch around on the back. Now we're going to continue on the sides. We're going to sew from the notch and we are going to close along of the sides. Then we're going to close the inner length, and after that we're going to match the crochet length. Face the rags and sew them from the bottom to the top, but you have to sew until the pocket. This is the other side. We sew from the notch and sew them along of the side. This is the inner length. We face the rags and we sew them from the top to the bottom. Then we sew the other leg. Open the seams and finish closing the crochet leg. We overlock around of the hem and then we're going to fold until the notch and we're going to pass a stitch around. Then we're going to match the pockets and we're going to pass a stitch on the sides. This is the hem of the pants and we'll fold until the notch and we pass a stitch around. Then we have to press with the yarn. Match the pockets on the sides and pass a stitch for hold the side, and also on the other side. And we have finished our overall. We place the buttons on the front and we made the button hole, and also we place the buttons on the sides and we made the button hole. We press with the around the hem of the pant. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tutorials. You can find this pattern on the magazine Patrones Infantiles number 17, and the links are below. We'll see you in another video very soon. Bye!